Good evening, dearest ladies, friends, and colleagues from all over the world. Very warm welcome to this eighth episode of our meet and greet with the title Women, Youth, and Civil Society Working Together for a Resilient and Sustainable Future for Generations to Come. So today we're very happy to have some amazing speakers, women leaders, youth leaders, but first of all, we want to welcome our president of our UN Vienna team of the Women's Federation for World Peace, Mrs. Maria Riel, and she will provide some opening remarks. Dr. Maya, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Kyungin. Greetings from Vienna UN office, especially from Sebenstein, where I live now, is 60 kilometers south of Vienna. I am very happy that we can meet to have this dialogue even from New Zealand. This is a country I love very much because my daughter-in-law is originally from New Zealand. And for me, it's like wonderful, the most beautiful end of the world from our viewpoint. So we are now in the winter time and you are in the summertime. We are on the evening and you are in the morning. So I'm very happy that I can welcome two ladies from New Zealand speaking to us about the situation there. And first, I greet Mrs. Matapa Shelley. She is president of Women's Federation for World Peace New Zealand. And as I know, there are many, many nations there and many people, even the Maori and the white people, and then many new people coming. So many new situations appear. She is teacher and in the school. I think in every class, if you have 16 children, so they are from different countries and different traditions. So you need really to learn to understand their situation. I am happy that you can join us, and I know your time is precious. So please, the word is yours, Mrs. Shelley.
Good morning. Thank you so much for that introduction. And I'm really happy to be here with you wonderful women and to be on this platform to share a little bit about myself and most of all, more though, about our chapter here in New Zealand. So, right, here we go. So, greetings once again. Sorry, in New Zealand we say kia ora. That means may you live today. That's our greeting in the indigenous language. So my name, as it was mentioned earlier on, is Matapa Shelley, president of the New Zealand chapter of the Women's Federation for World Peace. And I am, like I said, truly delighted to be here today on this 8th, from what I understand, episode of Meet and Greet. I would like to, just to take this moment to acknowledge and thank Merle and her team for the invitation, and also you, Lilly. I did not know you until now. It is also a privilege and honor to meet and hear our esteemed and distinguished guest speakers. This platform, I believe, allows us, as any platform where women are involved, the opportunity to connect, share, and explore together how women, youth, and civil society can work alongside one another to create a brighter future for us all. The United Nations has set powerful goals, the Sustainable Development Goals, which we are all aware of, to build a world that is fairer, safer, and more sustainable by 2030. But these goals are not just words on paper. They require action, collaboration, and commitment. And most importantly, they need the leadership and voices of women and young people. So together, we have the power, and I know this, to make a lasting impact. And so, through meetings like this, we can inspire one another, exchange ideas, and strengthen our shared commitment to building a future where no one is left behind. Women have always been leaders in making change. We all know this, whether by promoting education, which is the field that I'm in, fighting for equality, or helping to build peace in our communities. And as for young people, they bring fresh ideas and energy, helping to solve big challenges like climate change and social justice. And also community groups and organizations like ours also play a big role in making sure that governments and businesses stay accountable and do their part. So in this webinar, thank goodness, we will discover the incredible ways women, such as our group of amazing guest speakers, are driving change and making a lasting impact in their fields. You know, whenever women come together, united with purpose, we create something good, don't we? Wouldn't you agree with that? Whether it's in the home or out there in the community, we do that. And it's all part of our makeup and nature. So let's use this time to learn, connect, and inspire one another. So thank you, and I look forward to our discussion. Now I'm going to just share a little bit about what we do back here in New Zealand. When I first stepped into leadership at Women's Federation for World Peace, one of my biggest challenges, and I'm sure I'm not the only one in this boat, was growing our membership. And so many people believe in our mission, yet turning that support into active participation and long-term commitment had not been easy. We are fortunate, though, to have incredible affiliate women groups who join our events, but they too have their own initiatives to lead. As a result, their involvement often stops at attendance rather than deeper engagement. But challenges like these have not been barriers for us in our small group here in New Zealand. We look at it as opportunities. They remind us that true leadership is about inspiring action, fostering collaboration, and finding new ways to engage and empower others. And spreading the word about Women's Federation for World Peace here in New Zealand and our unique mission has been another challenge as well. Despite the meaningful work we do, our visibility remains limited, making it harder to attract, broader support. We need to grow and thrive, So once again, we didn't see these as a challenge, but rather a call to action. We have the power to amplify our voices, share our stories, and bring others into our mission. And we've stood together on many occasions to support one another and boldly advocate for the causes we believe. With a smaller membership base, much of the workload often fell on me, but even you too. A lot of the responsibilities in your chapters would have at some point fallen on yourselves, which requires us to juggle multiple roles, like planning, executing, and managing tasks that should ideally be shared. But of course, as women, we are no strangers to resilience, adaptability, and leading with heart. So while this challenge can feel overwhelming, and it has for me, it also presents an opportunity, once again, to lift and empower more of us to step forward, take ownership, and become active change makers. Leadership is not about carrying the weight alone. It's about inspiring others to join in, contribute their strengths, and grow together. As leaders, we are not, once again, just carrying the mission of our organizations. We are also daughters, mothers, professionals, and caretakers. We juggle many roles, and balancing these personal responsibilities while striving to grow and sustain our work is no small feat, as we are all aware of. I'm often reminded that leadership is not about doing it alone. I understand that. It's about building a network of support, lifting each other up, and finding strength in our community. I embrace the idea that we don't have to choose between our personal lives and our purpose-driven work. We can do both. And that's what I do. As mentioned earlier, when we lift up one another, when we lean on each other, and when we step forward together, this is how we sustain not only our organizations, but also ourselves. Our chapter of the Women's Federation for World Peace here in New Zealand have incredible initiatives and programs with the potential to create real lasting change. Yet without enough active members to drive them forward, they don't reach their full potential. This isn't just a challenge, it's another opportunity for us to take action. Imagine the difference we could make if more women stepped up, took ownership, and brought their unique strengths to the table. Every one of us has the power to contribute, to lead, and to turn ideas into reality. When we come together with purpose and determination, we transform challenges into opportunities and dreams into tangible results. Our small group here in New Zealand refused to allow these initiatives to fall short. And so we continue moving forward to build impactful projects. Our communities and nations need our voices. And I'm sharing this with you. They need our leadership and our action. And that's what we want to do. Tinmama, who is also from New Zealand, she'll be speaking later. We want this for our communities and for our nation. The COVID-19 pandemic brought unexpected challenges for us, as so much of our work relied on in-person gatherings. I think we can all relate to this. And adapting to a digital platform felt really overwhelming at times, especially for some members. But instead of letting these obstacles hold us back, we embraced the challenge and we pivoted to online peace talks, webinars, and virtual training sessions. Not only did this keep our community connected, but it also expanded our reach beyond borders, bringing together, when I say beyond borders, I mean here, like in our area here in the Oceania. Yeah. So I should say beyond, you would say beyond borders because you're in the continent, but us is beyond our little island nations. Yeah. And bringing together women from different regions and countries. This experience was a powerful reminder that resilience and adaptability are at the heart of leadership. When we face challenges head on, we don't just survive, we grow, we innovate, and we build something even stronger. So no matter what obstacles come our way, we as women have the power to rise, to lead, and create impact in new and meaningful ways. That's us. And you're all part of this organization, of which I am proud to be part of. Another challenge for us is engaging young people in our mission. It has been deeply rewarding journey as well. At first, many, like young people of today, they see the idea of peace building as something distant or attainable. But we knew that if we could connect with them in meaningful ways, we could ignite their passion for change. So that's why we have in the past and continue to create youth-led workshops on sustainability and conflict resolution, giving them the tools, the voice, and the confidence to take ownership of their future. This is the power of investing in the next generation. When we believe in them, when we give them the opportunities to thrive or to lead, they rise to the challenge. So these challenges are not unique to our organization by any means here in New Zealand. They are shared by countless organizations around the world, working like yourselves, working to create positive change. But rather than seeing them as obstacles, we recognize them as opportunities for collaboration, innovation, and I'm mentioning this over and over again because it's true, innovation and collective action. So when we come together, we strengthen not just our organizations, but our shared resilience by lifting each other up, empowering more people, women and youth to lead, and finding creative solutions. We can turn these challenges into stepping stones toward a more sustainable and inclusive future. So here's my kind of last words and encouragement to us here today. And that is, let's rise to the occasion with courage and determination. The work we do matters. And together we can create a world where no one is left behind. So thank you for this opportunity to greet and share with you about the work we do in our little corner of the world down under here in New Zealand. And once again, thank you for this opportunity to be able to share this with you. So thank you and have a blessed day.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Shelley, our dear colleague from New Zealand, for sharing this with us, a bit of the work of the Women's Federation in New Zealand, and stressing that leadership is not only about doing great things, but also to inspire others work together and inspire the next generation. Thank you so much for this opening remarks. And then it's my pleasure.
Please stop the share, the green button.
Yes, and then it's my pleasure to announce our first speaker for tonight, also a colleague from New Zealand of the Women's Federation for World Peace, Mrs. Tinmama Oo. She is a community advocate with over a decade of experience in refugee and migrant settlement, has worked with a lot of global organizations such as UNHCR, the Global Refugee-Led Network, and also with Maori and Pacific communities in New Zealand. And she will share her vision on our title for tonight. So Mrs. Tinmama Oo, the floor is yours.
Tēnā koutou. Hello everyone, good morning from New Zealand. We are morning here. It's just such an honor to be invited as one of the speakers today. As you know, I'm the new baby in the block for our Women Federation for World Peace New Zealand chapter. I've been with the Federation for a very long time, since the university. But you know, we get involved more and more. And now that I'm a mom to a daughter, I see a great value of our Federation's mission and vision, that we really need to do our very best to empower not only ourselves, but all the women around the world. And I know this value even more when, you know, mothering a daughter who has such a strong character, just like me. She's a little me, very stubborn, but very, you know, she's very passionate about the world and social justice. And going through that, I realized how important it is that we really mentor our girls to have the strong resilience, as well as having the courage to continue with their commitment for world peace, because one day I will be gone and most of us will be gone, and we have to hand over to the next generations. And I just feel like we have the responsibility to look after our beautiful planet that God created. Unfortunately, the world has been destroyed in so many ways. And I think through love, peace, compassion, that we can restore the beautiful nature that we all hope to see, and that our younger generations to come will be able to enjoy the privileges and opportunities that we have been able to enjoy in our current time. So since our Madam President from New Zealand has done her amazing remark opening, I would like to dive into our New Zealand context, because I'm not sure how many of you are fully aware of how much New Zealand is involved for the global sustainable, you know, development goals of the UN, and where we are right now as a nation. And I think I just would like to dive into a little bit of a research base, and because I know that most of us are, you know, experts in what we do. You are all amazing leaders, and I would like to bring in a little bit of my research to give you an introduction about New Zealand and where we are at, especially after attending the CSW conference. You know, there were so many amazing things that women around the world are doing. And that was the first time that I realized how much New Zealand women are involved at the governmental level, local NGO levels, and internationally as well. So I think today I will take the opportunity to share a little bit of those and some cheeky jokes here and there to keep you entertained. Now I'm going to try to share my screen. Just give me a moment. Okay. Okay. Slide to show. I believe you can all see.
We see
Can you see very well?
Yep. It's still presenter mode. You need to go into the presentation mode.
Oh,
Uh,
it's funny because I never heard of that presentation. I only
yeah,
done
it shows you the slides before and after, but you want to go into slideshow on the top?
Okay.
It's the one at the bottom,
Yeah,
at the
so on the
right.
bottom.
Oh,
I
sorry.
can't see from my end. Can you see this basic design or no? You
We
can,
see it, and we
right?
see the other slides on the side, on the left as well. You can do it like that, or you can go into the slideshow when you go on the top.
I sent my slideshow to the organizer. Are you able
Yeah,
to
I've
do it
got
from
it.
your end?
Okay, then
I'll
go
stop
out of the,
sharing from my end.
yeah.
Perfect.
So I'm going to share screen one, share, and I'm going to go into the slideshow from the beginning.
Learn something. Okay, well, thank you. Okay, so if you can just go next, please. I hope you like my little creativity here. Copy and paste in a bit of a so to me, it's a great question, right? When we think about how do we support as individuals toward this big mission of the world. How do I go next? So I'm just going to dive into it. I'm not sure how many of you know the Sustainable Development Goal as an app on your phone. The reason I bring this up is, yesterday I went and bought a phone. There's no means, no way. I'm not advocating for Samsung or anything like that. So yesterday when I bought a phone, there was an app already installed in our phone, the SDG chart, right? And when I opened it, I found a wealth of information to educate ourselves, options to donate, ways to participate. And I think this is an amazing way to engage with people's subconscious mind, putting awareness and right action at our fingertip. So with this app, user can donate directly to SDGs through the United Nations Development Program website or contribute via the app advertisements, ensuring that 100% of the fundraise support sustainable development efforts. Now, the UNDP administrator, Edmund Stinner, praised the app for harnessing technological innovation to mobilize people in achieving the SDGs. He emphasized that the global joint effort involving the private sector, civil society, and individuals worldwide is essential to creating meaningful change. So to my end, when I look at Samsung's initiative, aligns with a broader private sector shift towards sustainability, particularly toward the SDG 13, climate action. So by leveraging its technology and global reach, Samsung is helping empower the next generations of global citizens, demonstrating the role business can play in tackling global challenges and fostering a more sustainable future. I'm not sure how many of you are into technology and, being part of a modern technology, the AI movement. But to be honest, this is the first time I have any interaction with this app. And I was surprised. And the only reason I found out about this initiative is because I got the Samsung phone. And when I tried to set it up, I saw this app. And there were amazing writing in that app. And you can donate. So when we look at how do we make sure no one left behind? Well, first thing is the global outreach. How do we make sure that people are actually aware of the SDG 2030 goal? And what is it that we can do? Sometimes when we talk about this topic, most of my friends, they say, the topic is so big, T. How do we even participate in this, right? And so how do we break it down, this big global mission at the international level, the national level, the local level, and the individual level? And to those who hasn't got the time or the capacity or the ability to be part of this global movement, they can be part of a small donation to empower others achieve the mission. I thought today I would just like to I don't know, touch base with our audience today to see if you haven't come across this. Please, by all means, have a look around, see how amazing the app is. If you don't have a lot of opportunity to interact, you can donate. Any little money counts toward the global development goals. And in many underdeveloped nations, the UNDP programs are amazing. And as you know, the world, we are very much short on resources. So everyone's efforts, you know, a joint efforts is absolutely necessary. We go next screen, please. Yeah, so this is what it looks like on the website. So you can have a look. There's a web link as well to bring change. Next, please. So I would like to now bring you, so we've talked about the global state. How do we make sure that the world that we're trying to develop through sustainability, resilience, making sure no one left behind? Really, we need to have a global movement where we are all engaged. We are aware of what is happening, who is doing what, and how do we participate in such a movement? So from the global level, I would like to now bring you to our national level. So this is New Zealand, as you can see. For me, I believe that to achieve the global sustainable development goals, strong political will from the state government is essential. Policies and legislation must reflect genuine efforts and commitments toward the SDGs. Without government actions, building a resilient and sustainable future becomes extremely challenging. If governments in the region lack the political will to support the SDGs, marginalized and vulnerable nations will be left behind. So for New Zealand, we have a great report. It's called 2019 Voluntary National Review. So if you don't know what that is, please search it up. There are many other countries who produced that written report. It's called the Voluntary National Review Report per Nation. Now, our former Prime Minister, Jacinda Ardern, I don't know how many of you, you know, are a fan of hers, but, you know, she did a lot of work connecting New Zealand at the world stage, and she had an amazing connection with so many amazing leaders and women leaders all around the world.
You muted. You muted yourself.
Right. So as people, this is her quote from Jacinda Ardern, our former Prime Minister, as a people, we highly value our egalitarian society, but we know that despite our developed status, there are New Zealanders who struggle to achieve a decent level of well-being. Our success as a nation rests on far more than just economic indicators. I think that's a good statement. Most of us, when we think about development, we think about how well a nation is doing by looking at statistics, the numbers, how well is the economy doing. But then we lack the acknowledgement or the investigations of how well are we doing as a society? How are we doing as a nation? How's our people doing? I'm not sure what slides are being shared at the moment. Is it mine? Okay, sorry.
We were
Right.
on the map. We went to, oops.
Yeah.
Can you see what's on the screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
You see my little screen? Yeah. So New Zealand remains strongly committed to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, ensuring that economic growth is productive, sustainable, and inclusive. The country recognizes that progress should not be measured purely in economic terms. Instead, a broader approach is being adopted through the Living Standards Framework called LSF, which places intergenerational well-being at the center of policy making. This innovative framework allows for a comprehensive analysis of well-being, resilience, and risk across economic, social, and environmental domains. A key priority in New Zealand's commitment to the SDG is reducing child poverty. Law introduced in 2018 have established a long-term focus on child poverty reduction, ensuring political accountability through published target. Okay, so using both low income and material hardship measures, policies such as 2017 Families Package have already contributed to boosting the income of low income families, and a range of ongoing initiatives continue to improve child and youth well-being. Now, New Zealand also plays an active role in supporting sustainable development internationally. So in 2018, the government increased official development assistance by 30%, with an additional 714 million allocated over 4 years. This funding is targeted at countries most in need, particularly small island developing states and least developed countries, with a strong focus on building economic resilience and prosperity in the Pacific region. Beyond financial assistance, sustainable development principles also guide New Zealand's approach to trade, environmental protection, and security. So the interconnected nature of the SDG means that progress cannot be achieved by governments alone. A holistic approach is required, with participation from individuals, businesses, and community organizations. The Voluntary National Review highlights the important contribution being made across New Zealand and internationally by various stakeholders. The government has engaged extensively with NGOs and public to ensure a broad and inclusive construction process. Now, New Zealand remains committed to working collaboratively, both nationally and globally, to achieve the SDGs by integrating sustainability into policy making and fostering partnership across society. The country is taking meaningful steps towards a future that is not only prosperous, but also fair and sustainable for generations to come. And one of the highlights for us in New Zealand is the inclusion and diversity towards sustainable future. If you dig in further about New Zealand, we have many amazing policies to help individuals and society as a whole. So we take pride in our movements for inclusion and diversity, with a push for Indigenous rights by reviewing the treaty. So you can have a look at our Treaty of Waitangi and see what it is all about. We also have a massive movement on gender equality, where more spaces were made for women and others. For example, in New Zealand, customs services, I use customs services because recently my girlfriend became a custom marine officer, which was predominantly occupied by men only. And she was part of the second intake in New Zealand ever in history. So New Zealand Customs Office strategic announcement is that our inclusion and diversity strategic priority for 2023 to 2026. Focus areas 1 is inclusion, focus area 2 is gender, Māori, and ethnic equity. That's amazing. Another area that we are proud to share is that we now have a Ministry of Ethnic Communities that focus on inclusion and diversity for ethnic communities. So yesterday, a friend of mine forwarded a job that she thinks best suited my profile, which is called Engagement Specialist at Ministry of Ethnic Communities. The brief description about that job, not that I was going to apply because I'm studying law, the job description is said, you are responsible for developing and maintaining strategic and targeted relationship with key individuals, organizations, and ethnic communities. And business leaders, you are responsible for convening and brokering connection for and between them for the purpose of advancing the social and economic inclusion and empowerment of ethnic communities and businesses, and resolving issues that may arise from time to time. So you can see how much impact we can make in our society. But if there is no will by the government, then we have nothing to work with, and we will struggle a lot. So for us, for Women Federation for World Peace, we have a very good government as a nation to focus on this and empower us and allow us to move as a nation toward achieving the sustainable goal by 2030. So for the Women Federation for World Peace, we will continue to look at women's leadership in the global state. We will look at our commitment empowering women and girls. And we will recognize the leadership of women in our community space by advancing our networking, connection, and embracing their leadership and all the projects that they are involved in. So that's all from me. Thank you. Taking a little bit of time, but I think this is important because I just don't want to talk about what it is that I do. I think if we understand how each nation take control of participation by the government, then we can push further. If you're living in a country that the government has no will, we will struggle so much. And so instead of focusing on the actual resolution, we then fighting internally with our government for policy change. So, it's a different approach. So for New Zealand, we are in a good space to move forward. Thanks, team.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mrs. Tinmama Oo, for explaining this and stressing out how important it is that there is a strong political will from the governments and that we as civil society are there to keep our governments accountable. Thank you so much, and also explaining how it is in New Zealand. Thank you for your contribution. I just want to mention that I didn't do that in the beginning, but in the chat there will also be the bios of our speakers, so you can check it out if you're more interested in it. And also I would like to remind the speakers that everybody has like 10 minutes to contribute. Thank you so much. And then next we will go to our next speaker, Ms. Dr. Jing Zhu, a sports psychologist and professor, researcher, and a longtime friend of the UPF and Women's Federation in UN Vienna. And she will be talking about mental health of Olympic sport athletes. Thank you so much for being here, Dr. Jing Zhu. I hope I pronounce it well. And the floor is yours. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for the kind introduction. So for me, first time I participated in your meetings here online, even though I was also long time to have to participate many very successful activities from your organization. But still today, I found very interesting because I'm not yet know very well what you are exactly do. So I'm just now, for instance, we are talking about the gender, we are talking about the resilience, we are talking about the women, and also about the young and so on. From this, I'm just at this moment, I have some connections with my major. That may be interesting that today I'm only talking about Olympic schools, but this is only on the surface that we know, let us know each other better. And then maybe in the later communication, we can have some deeper topics. So how can I connect my profession? How can I contribute from the perspective or view from my major? So now just thank you so much for open this PowerPoint. So today I'm only focusing to talking about Olympic too. Yeah, I'm working with Olympic athletes for more than 20 years or 25 years. So and I was also athlete when I was young. So Olympic is just in my blood. So today, we are talking about this issue. So I get information today from our WhatsApp communication that we are talking about a person, and then we were talking about the topic what we are doing. So please to the next next slide. Thank you so much. So this is also the Olympic truth, and this is was always important, that how Olympics bring the peace to the Olympic member countries. And this is, you'll see also the picture from the UN and the International Olympic Committee, our National Olympic Committee. They are all together. Please, next slide. Thank you. Yeah, so now to introduce myself, this one is actually I found it coincidentally from the AI, also artificial intelligence. Yeah, if I write my name, they write it here. So I'm just copy this, and so they are talking about my professional work, my position, and professional field. I'm working in the field of all I can see. I'm the doctor of sport. Yeah, but I'm not orthopedic. I'm psychological and psychiatric. When I meet Dr. Maria or Dr. or Renata Amsbauer, I also talking this way. It's really much more personal and much more easy, and not like AI writing, and also some treatment now can see. So, but the maybe one point I can mention that I'm working many years ago. So many years ago, I'm working I'm teaching one Olympic champion class in China at that time. And then they are all Olympic champion, or world champion, or national champions. And one of the athletes, he is a 3 times national champion and 1 time world champion for the wrestling. And suddenly he's committed suicide. And this one, so as a first professional sports psychologist in China, that time is only 10 people in this profession, and then I was shocked. And that's for me the motivation to certainly there are a lot of story. I will not spend too many time. So this was motivation for me to go to a foreign country to searching the frequent flight. That's the reason I'm landing on the Vienna, Austria, where the frequent flight is. So so that is important. That through many years study and find a way, I really found the mental health problem beyond the game. They are also beyond the game. It's not only you see the beautiful flowers, the beautiful girls, and the strong minds, and in the Olympic Games that you see, we found a lot of things beyond the game. So that is the reason from the year 2014, me and myself, on behalf of the World Psychiatric Association, I have make a communication with International Olympic Committee and with Dr. Thomas Bach. And then we have spent 4 years, yeah. And finally, 2018, we have an International Olympic Committee consensus meeting on mental health in the athletes. That was my small contribution to the world of IoT. And now this work is already spread out and very fast, especially in the United States, especially in England, and now Germany, and also another country coming slowly, and Austria now just move forward. So we just recently, through our efforts, that we have make an ORS program. They were running 1 year in Austria. So I hope this activity can also be active in Austria. So we will see how the Austrian Olympic community moves. So, but we try our best. We are working day and night for this. So now this slide, you can see something. But I just introduce it with my personal parents. and that I hope you understand it. But this one you can see on the slide. If you're interested, you can send you afterwards. Please, next one. Yeah, this is also conclusion from the AI. I'm surprised how they're writing about me. I just copied it here, and they try to really know the expert. I feel so shy for this, but I don't think I'm so important. But I want. It's also my hope that how can I contribute some small contribution to the organization that I'm following for many years. So thank you. Please next. Yes, since this time, this actually since this time, this is a sign of Olympic truth. They all need to sign their signature there. So actually, this one now in the slide I showed, that is one official from the United Nations. He has made a report, but that time during the 2008 Olympic Games, yeah, that time, and he said the combating power of sports is unrivaled. Yeah, so not even by the United Nations, which has 192 member states. That is in the year 2005, and now I don't know it is still 192 or not, yeah. And an association of the National Olympic Games, which has, but for the as Olympic big family members, we have 2006 member countries, and now he is mentioned 2005. This is the year 2007. That time. So that at that time he said 192 to 2005, and he said the United Nations and Olympic movement are mutual alliance. So please next one. Next slide. Thank you. Yes. So the today I'm thinking. So what I can talk about the Olympics. So even I'm insecure to the for the topic from the last two presenters. But that time I said, okay, let me just start this Olympic theme, Olympic 2. So that one you see every time before Olympic Games, we need to experience the Olympic fire and through the Olympus in Greece, and send it to all the countries, and finally to the country who hold the Olympics. So just now we sent the Olympic fire also to Paris. So next one we will go to Los Angeles. So in this slide, I'm talking about that the United Nations, they are in the year 1993, we have also adopted a resolution on observation of Olympic Games. So Olympic, you know, very well, they were called the ancient Olympics. But now, since 1993, this Olympic Games will be also active in the US. So please next one. So after 1993, there are some actions that there are. I choose 5 or 6 actions. So there are also some actions was not working. Also like just happened now 2024 Olympic game in Paris. But the war is still there. At least the last slide. Still not yet. Yeah. Thank you so much for this. Yeah, yes. So some action is not working, but now I show you several actions is working. You know, the first one is in 1994 Winter Olympics. And that time is Yugoslavia is still there. Yeah, but it's functioning that through the Olympic game that we stop the war in the Yugoslavia. Yeah, and the next one is 1998 yeah, 1998 in the Winter Olympics. The UN Secretary General, yeah, Kofi Annan also mentioned that the UN and the IOC Olympic rules should be combined together. Please cue the last one. Just cue the last slide. All right. Yeah. Okay. I wait for a minute. Not the next one, the last one, please. The last one. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, not the one. The last one. One before. Two slides before, please. Yes, 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 because here is important. But I think maybe the time is running very fast. I'm not talking so much. So about 2004, 2006, and also they have also functioning every subsequent Olympic game has called for a brief pause. Every time since 1993, every time before the Olympic Games that they must call for a brief pause. So please next one. So that is the general topic about the Olympic shoes. I hope through the Olympic shoes we can also have some small contributions to the work of the team. And here is only some my short information. And if you're interested in my work, you can go to the website. And my communications code is also here. Thank you so much for your attention. And if you have any questions, it's my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jing Zhu, for your amazing presentation and showcasing the Olympic Truce Peace Campaign. I've never heard of it, so it's very enriching. So we will keep keep it in our minds and search for it at the UN. Thank you so much for your contribution. Thank you for your time. And I'm gonna introduce our next speaker for today. We're a little bit off time, ladies. So please, when you see me in next to you as a speaker, know that you have 1 minute left. Okay, let's try to do the time management very well. So we will also have some space left for question and answer. So let's see. I would like to welcome Mrs. Dalareich Polot. She's also known as Bohol's Chocolate Princess and an award-winning entrepreneur and CEO of Dalareich Chocolate House. And she will also give her contribution on our theme, Women, Youth, and Civil Society, working together for a resilient and sustainable future for generations to come. So Dalareich, thank you so much for being here with us. I've understood it's very late at night where you are, so an extra thanks, and the floor is yours.
Yeah, hi. Good morning from the Philippines. And I'm not sure what time you are in your country. So it's already 3:59 a.m. here in the Philippines. I would like to also give thanks to Ms. Merle for inviting me to speak today, and also for all the women who are here. I'm very inspired on the previous speakers, so it's an honor for me to also speak about my industry in the Philippines as well. So let me share my screen. Hold on. Okay. I hope you can see my screen now.
It's charging. Yes, good.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. My name is Dalareich. People call me, like, sometimes it's Dalareich in Euro. So I'm from the central part of the Philippines. My island is called Bohol. Bohol is a very tourist island in the Philippines. So I'll be talking about you guys, what we do also in my industry. I'm going to share you about cacao or chocolate in the Philippines. So we just had a Valentine's Day a week ago. So I was kind of busy making chocolate here in the Philippines. So cacao is a very important commodity in the world because everybody's eating chocolate. I'm sure you also eat chocolate in your country, especially in Europe. You guys have a lot of chocolate in New Zealand also, and everywhere you are in the world. So cacao is a very important commodity that everybody wanted. So I just want to talk to you like a brief history about the company. So my name is Dalareich, that's the brand name of my the chocolate that my mom started in 1994. So my mom's worked as a street sweeper when she started making chocolate. So it's basically in the Philippines because we have the culture of having hot chocolate every morning because of the Spanish was, colonized us long time ago. So we had a culture of having hot chocolate in the morning. So my mom make those small tablets of the 100% dark chocolate when we were young. So she started that as a livelihood while she works as a street sweeper in the city, while my dad is working as a tricycle driver. It was just a livelihood just to, support the family of 7. We're 5 children. So that was not a business before. Just my mom I would credit to her everything because she's the entrepreneur here. She started that small business. It from the livelihood until it became a small business. So like me as a second generation, I told my mom, why the Philippines is not known for cacao or chocolate since we have this culture of having hot chocolate every morning. So I told my mom one day the Philippines should be known that we have a chocolate in the Philippines. We even have cacao at the backyard, but nobody knows we have cocoa at the backyard. We just get the cacao, harvest it, and eat it, and then my mom makes chocolate out of it. So I told one day I'll go to Europe and study about chocolate. So yeah, this is our family picture. So fast forward in 2014, I went to Ghent University in Belgium and study about the science behind cacao and chocolate. And that's I realized that wow, like not all countries in the world can grow cacao. It's only those countries within the equator can grow cacao. So I told myself, like, wow, we're so blessed that the Philippines have a lot of cacao trees, but people don't take care of it. They don't value of what we have. So I said, when I went back to the Philippines, I want to educate each people in the Philippines what is real chocolate and what is not. And they need to take care of those trees that we have since we were kids. So I went back to here in the Philippines, and then I said that the chocolate of my mom should be famous in the world. So to cut the story short, in 2019, my mom who makes those small tablets, which is the 100% chocolate, we got a gold award in London as the best drinking chocolate in the world. As that was like 3,100 entries around the globe for that chocolate that my mom was making since we were kids was recognized in London as one of the best drinking chocolate in the world. So to be honest, like I always told my mom that, what will happen in the next 10 years if we want to take care of those trees, if we want to work with the farmers, if we want to encourage young people to go into agriculture. So will we eat cell phones? Will we eat iPhones? I was like, I need to do my work. I need to go back to the community and talk to the farmers, talk to the young people that we need to put our hands together. We need to take care of the trees. Don't cut any cacao trees at the backyard. Instead of cutting those trees, we need to plant more. So that's how I enter more on the community work that I do since like 10 years ago, actually 15 years ago. So when I started going to communities, nobody will listen to me. When you're young, they were like, you don't know what you're doing. We're already going there and you're still going there. We're going back already. That's how sometimes I hear those people. So I went to government agency and I talked to them, hey, we need to do this because in the next 10 years, in the next 20 years, there's no more chocolate in the world because of the climate change. So I'll be talking more on the innovation. My mom started the tablea, which is a Spanish of tablet, which is the 100% chocolate, basically. So I innovate it to 70% and pralines and all of those products. So we also have a chocolate house in the Philippines. So if you come here in the island, so you can visit our chocolate factory, which is, we opened that in 2017. So I'll be talking more on the problem of our industry, because cacao has actually a crop that has no substitute. So the Philippines is the first country in Asia that planted cacao. So we're gaining a lot of, recognitions. We are the best cacao because from the upper Amazon, where the cacao started, the Spanish brought the best variety of cacao in the Philippines, which is the Criollo. So that's the gold of the industry in the world in terms of the cacao industry. So as what I've said, the industry is market driven. Consider that cacao has no substitute. So, but the Philippines is actually importing rather than exporting the cacao, because we're more, the supply is so low, but the demand is so huge. So in 2022, we have only produced 100 metric tons of dried cacao in the Philippines. So we're more importing than exporting, and that is a big problem. When you go back to the community, I'm more on now on the social work rather than on being an entrepreneur, because I can see the situation on the ground, working with the farmers, working with the women farmers in the whole Philippines. Since I'm not only working in my island, I already extend my work in the southern part, which is a conflict area in the Philippines. So I saw like a lot of problems on the ground. So the Philippines only produces 12,000 maximum of cacao metric tons in 2022. So we had a big problem because the Philippines alone, as of 2022, need 50,000 metric tons. So we only produces 12,000 metric tons. So yeah, as what I've said, we're more, the Philippines is the first country in Asia, but I'm so happy that other Asian countries right now is also producing cacao, and that's actually, we're more importing rather than exporting. So I'm just giving you idea how the import and export of cacao in the world. So in the Philippines, we have like 7,107 islands. We're in the region 7. The big producer of cacao in the Philippines is region 11. Me, I'm in the region 7. So we only produce a bit smaller portion of the cocoa in the Philippines in this island. So I'm going back. In the world of cacao, the Africa is the biggest producer of cacao in the world. You're supplying Europe, US, Australia, and New Zealand. So, but that's something that everybody didn't think that something will happen to Africa. So this is the figure of all the cacao tons produces in Africa before in 2018, 2019, 2020. So Africa is the biggest contribution of producing cacao, which is the Cote d'Ivoire and Ghana. And the grinder who makes chocolate is the number one is Europe. So Germany is the first that is producing a lot of chocolate out of the cacao from Africa. So now in like 2023, we had a big problem. I already see this because everybody we have a lot of cacao in the world, but there's a shortage of cacao. I'm not sure if you know this. It started in 2023. Climate change is a very big issue in our industry. So in 2023, according to statistics, actually, because of the drought that happened in West African countries like Cote d'Ivoire and Ghana, the shortage of cacao is so huge that has happened in the world. So it went up so high, the price of cacao. This is a world market price, which is where we're so shocked that everybody was like, wow, like that's so expensive. The cacao now is expensive. So don't wonder if your chocolate is already expensive. So in 2024, last year, 2023, it actually increases to 300% compared to 22. to 2022. So it reaching the around 10,000 per metric ton, which is very alarming because of that happened. As what I've said, Africa is the biggest cacao producing country in the world. And then they had a drought and they had a problem with their climate. So that's why the cacao prices went up so high until we're now still experiencing it. So as what I've said, climate change is a really big issue here, and then also the diseases. So that's a big question. What will happen on the chocolate or cacao industry in the next 10 years? Will the next generation can eat chocolate or no? So with this problem, I already started all my work since I was still in my 20s. So now the price of cacao is already $10 per kilogram. That was only $3 before. So, but because of the climate change issues, like in this island, in my island, actually we already had the drought that happened. Anyway, I'll move forward. So I work with women communities here in the island. It's more on the women. So we work so hard with planting more cacao and empowering more cacao farmers, especially the women, even the PWD, like the person with disability. So all of our leaders that I work with are not actually like, they're all women and most of them are person with disability. So what we do is actually I do some of the heritage preservation of cacao. So we had like a lot of preservation and rehabilitation that we do. So we also do more planting. So this is in peso, but this is already proven and tested that the farmer can earn more money if really want to rehabilitate the trees instead of cutting down those trees. So pandemic didn't stop us. So we work so hard on the ground. I'm already off time actually. So I just want to make it faster. So we had a super typhoon in 2022. So we didn't lose hope. So we worked with more on the different foundations, working with Adopt a Cacao Farmer, Adopt a Cacao community in the island. But I'm now expanding my work in the southern part of the Philippines, which is a conflict area. So I put up a foundation last year with my friends. I just want to go around like my slide because we put up also a training center of the women and the community. And so this is just pictures of the work that we do. So yeah, and then we had an inventory as like a tech person. We put like a QR code of each cacao tree because nobody knows, even the government don't know how many cacao trees left after the super typhoon. So what we did is we put a QR code on each of the cacao that we do. So we had a map in the island to put all the cacao, how many farmers that we left. I mean, how many farmers we have already in how many cacao trees. So yeah, last year I put up a foundation called Phil Seed Foundation, which is we focus more on giving education to the farmers in the southern part, which is the conflict area. So Phil Seed is really to improve the lives of the farmers. So we give them more in the inputs on the tools of the farmers, and also we buy all the wet beans. So because we had also the problem with the 6% only from the banking system in the Philippines, they can only loan 6%. The agriculture is not the priority in the Philippines, unfortunately. So we improved the post-harvest. We use organic fertilizer. So last year we got like more on the what I dream of on the southern part of the Philippines. So we produces, the women farmers are so happy with what they did. And also we planted more cacao last year. I'm just hoping in the next 5 years we can see the progress. So I'll just show you like the pictures. Yeah. Yeah, this one is like this is like more on the income of the farmers that we had. So these are the pictures that we did, like the training and all of those things. Yeah. Okay, this is the cacao and then all the farmers that we had in the southern part of the Philippines. This is also the data that how much cacao we got from from the different communities that we're working. Yeah, and also some of the tourists who come here, they come to the Philippines and they plant cacao as well. So
Wow.
I hope I was able to give you more inspiration and idea what we did also. Yeah, thank you so much.
Wow. Thank you so much, Dalareich. I hope I pronounced it well, for your amazing work and your amazing presentation. I needed to cut you short earlier, but it was so interesting. And I didn't know that we had a shortage of cacao. And but amazing work that you also do for all the farmers and the livelihood. So yes, yeah, please, if the speakers can also put their contact information in the chat, then others can also reach out. Don't forget about that. So we still have like 3 speakers. Let's see how we're doing with how we can arrange this with time management. We're not doing a very great job concerning, but very interesting topic. So next speaker would have been Dr. Remy Alapo. She is one of our Women's Federation UN office representatives in New York. Also professor, peace ambassador, human rights advocate. She couldn't be here at the end because she had other responsibilities to attend at the end. But she has sent 2 of her students who will talk on her behalf. And they will all both speak 5 minutes each, and they will explain why they chose to speak on Dr. Alapo's behalf. And the first student I would like to invite is Mrs. Salimatu Dumbuya.
Yes, that's correct.
Oh, am I also pronouncing your name correctly?
Yes,
Okay.
you have pronounced it
Yes,
correctly.
very welcome. Yes.
Hi, everyone. It's
Hi,
my
welcome.
pleasure being
Please
here.
keep the time. I don't want to interrupt you, but we are
Yes.
late. So you have 5 minutes. Thank you so much, and the floor is yours.
Can you hear me clearly? Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Salimatu, and I am representing Dr. Remy Alapo, Director of Institute for Peace and Leadership USA. I'm glad to represent Dr. Alapo today because of the work and best practices of her organization in enhancing and supporting the participation of leadership of young women leaders. Enhancing the leadership and equity in knowledge for women and youth's participation in sustainable development by promoting the SDG 5 on gender equality is what she does. The Institute for Peace and Leadership, under the direction of Dr. Alapo, organizes workshops and forums aimed at sharing knowledge for leadership that enhances women and youth participation in sustainable development goals, SDGs 5 on gender equity, empowering women and girls by working collaboratively with schools and communities in selecting promising young minds through a competitive process that assesses their potential for leadership and commitment of promoting sustainable peace and development. These leadership skills training programs aim to help women and youths to better understand the challenges and sustainable development for communities all over the world and provide them with the necessary leadership and skills training that will make them productive citizens. The primary aim of the leadership development program is to encourage knowledge creation and dialogue on the sustainable development goals, security and human development processes issues using the transformational leadership approach, strengthen leadership and critical thinking skills, initiative taking and communication skills, bring about an attitudinal change so that the approach of collaboration towards issues in multifaceted, analytical, and mindful of sustainability, cultivate a multifaceted and analytical attitude in the collaboration with others while creating an awareness of sustainable development, promote interreligious dialogue, intercultural harmony, and peaceful coexistence. Myself, Salimatu Dumbuya, I am a student here at New York City who studies architecture in the New York City College of Technology, and I went to the birth of Manhattan Community College, and that's how I met Dr. Alapo. I have founded an organization called the Building a Brighter African Diaspora Foundation, which is a foundation that aims to reunite people of African descent around the goal of developing the continent of Africa. What we do in this organization is mainly to focus on 4 of the SDGs, and we train youth in project management all the way down to finding solutions to these projects. We have been operating since 2018. You can see it on the left of the screen. And to this day, we have created 4 solutions to 4 of the different SDGs, which is Afro Crops, which is an agricultural solution to food insecurity, Skill Them All, which is a leadership solution to workforce development or workforce shortages on the continent, and Maka Africa, which is more based on mental health, plus technology, which is more sustainability and creating solar panels to provide electricity and stuff. Under our operation, we've been working with youth from multiple African countries, and a lot of our solutions are global solutions that can be applied across multiple countries. We start with Africa because we believe that this is our home first. It's our testing ground, and it's where we want to take to make our projects and our ideas global. Our group of students are across the campuses of the City University of New York, which is 25 campuses, and they work in different fields of studies and major. To close out, I have also been serving in multiple leadership positions at CUNY, and the latest was to be a student trustee at the City University of New York, where I represented all 225,000 students across the campuses, which was another opportunity for me to meet Dr. Alapo. I hope this wasn't too heavy on content. I'm really happy to be here, and I'm only hearing great projects, and it's full of hope and happiness for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was so in time, and it was also very, very interesting. Please don't forget to leave your contacts and about the organization in the chat. And then I want to welcome Mary Apollo, also student of Dr. Alapo. The floor is yours. Welcome.
Hi. Hi everybody. Good afternoon. My name is Mary Apollo. I'm a youth ambassador from South Sudan. So I'm here to represent Dr. Remy Alapo, Director of Institute of Peace and Leadership in the US. I'm glad to represent Dr. Alapo today because of the work that she is doing and the impact that her organization has in young women and girls. The Institute for Peace and Leadership is best practices work on SDG 4, which is education, entrepreneurship, and employment skills building. The potential of education to promote positive change in a society is largely untapped. Many young women are unemployed. At the same time, they are facing challenges when it comes to driven innovation that hinder their level of leadership skills and their potential. For young women to realize their potential, they must have equal access to education and economic activities that take place at the same time, the front of development activities. Institute for Peace and Leadership USA work to change the tradition of gendered divisions of labor and create climate including the free from sexual harassment, any type of discrimination, which would allow women to engage in leadership, economic activities of their choice, and equip them with entrepreneurship skills so they can be more independent. This is the best practice for SDG number 4 on education. Entrepreneurship also will build the employment, solve the issues of unemployment of women, improve productivity of their work, support innovative approach to improve job earning so then they can be independent on themselves. So my name is Mary Apollo, and I met Dr. Remy 4 years ago. She happened to be my mentor of one of the projects that I was leading for young African leader during COVID-19 called I lead a group called Young African Youth in the Diaspora Coalition. I also founded an organization called For Direction. It's an organization that we work in building women leadership for tomorrow. The organizations, we've met in different models that work in building women capacity building through training and educational program, and also try to have the connection, networking opportunity, so then they can enhance their leadership potential to the next level. So like recently, some of the project that we have done is supporting 35 young women who are in the refugee camps of in South Sudan. They are based in Uganda, in their education. So our program sponsors them to pay for their school fee, their accommodation. It's a scholarship program that targeted young women in conflict. So this is our recent program for 2025, and we are working more to solve the problem of young women who are in the conflict area by providing them to educations so they can build up their potentials and be independent in their future, because most of them face conflict in this conflict zone area, limit their potential. They face violence, harassment, so much issues. So this is one of the problems that we are targeting. In the organization, we also have this training and fellowship program that we are starting remotely and also under the ground, working with young women. We have developed our own curriculum, building their leadership skills and engage them more in the community to learn and enhance building their leadership potentials while they were young. So the storytelling is one of the method that we also use in our training. We need to address the challenges of African young women so then we can motivate them to self-empowerment and solve the problem that they have, the financial independency, and then give them more open choices to sustainability, income, building that will provide for them the entrepreneurship, agriculture, and build their skills. So I'm almost done. So we need it. We need to work more in building these young women into leadership, and also support and motivate them. And it's just that by education, and I think the model of the conflict and leaderships and conflict, it can be implemented all over globally. And I think this is something that, you can learn from, we can work collaboratively from our initiative. What we need we need to find more women, bring more women voices, address our issues, and then seek for partnerships and work with our communities and the government and the nonprofit organizations. And we can also have a space of getting a different experience of solving women in conflict from different countries. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Apollo, for your contribution and all the amazing work you're doing over there in New York or from New York. And thank you both for representing your professor. I think she must be very proud, and probably she will look at the recording later on. Thank you so much for representing. And then I hope we can all stay a little bit longer for our last speaker. On the flyer, there was Mr. Miles Parker, but he had an emergency situation. So his colleague, Tiana Marie Mincy, jumped in. Thank you so much, Tiana, for being here. She's an artist, traveler, and humanitarian. And as you are a traveler, I see you're traveling at the moment. So we hope we can hear what you would like to say. The floor is yours.
Tiana Marie Mincy is an artist, traveler, and humanitarian. Having visited over 16 different countries internationally studying culture, food, and making artwork over the last 15 years, her love for people encompasses health, wellness, and education, and she has delivered educational workshops in communities all over in these fields. As an artist, her work addresses culture, human rights, nationality, ethnicity, and heritage. She currently resides in Montclair, New Jersey, where she is also dedicated to helping others live drug-free and to recognize their full human rights. She is a representative of both United for Human Rights and Drug-Free World. Her artistic work has been featured in shows in Washington, D.C., Chicago, Mexico, and the Studio Museum of Harlem.
Thank you very much. Okay, well, hello, everyone. I am traveling. I'm hoping that I don't get disconnected. I'm simply on my way into New York City for another women's empowerment meeting, ironically, similar purpose. I am here, I represent the L. Ron Hubbard Foundation. I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with the work of Mr. Hubbard, but he is a humanitarian dedicated to raising morals and values in society, having traveled quite internationally, studying people and culture and the human mind. And he's written a number of books. And today, I actually wanted to speak with you all about The Way to Happiness. This is one of the books that he wrote. Here's an actual picture of it. It's called The Way to Happiness. And I was specifically inspired to speak about this book to you all because the work that each of you is doing is so tied in to raising morals and values in society that I was actually very honored to bring his work and put this all in alignment. You'll hold just 1 second. I have a couple of notes here that I just want to pull up. So one of the things that I thought specifically was very interesting is that WFWP's work, engages in humanitarian aid, educational programs and women's empowerment, specifically to uplift different communities. As we've seen with our speakers, there's a tremendous wide breadth of diverse work that we are each and all doing. And within the work that we're doing with the L. Ron Hubbard Foundation, we also embody consistently the principles of, try to treat others as you would want them to treat you, as well as the principles of taking care of yourself and health and wellness and flourishing and prospering. So as an example of this, one of the first precepts in the book is take care of yourself. This book is actually really simple. It's very easy to read. Actually, I wanted to share, and I'll put in the chat, a link that will give you all an option to check out the free course if you're interested. It's, completely free. It's a very simple to read book, but it might have tools that you can also incorporate what you're doing to help other people continue to live with values and morals in their life. So, this first excerpt that I actually wanted to read to you, it says, take care of yourself. It's get care when you are ill. And this is just like one example, right, of a way that these two groups are very aligned, So get care where you're ill, keep your body clean, preserve your teeth, and eat properly. And then under eat properly, it says, people who do not eat properly are not of much help to you or themselves. They tend to have a low energy level. They are sometimes ill-tempered. They become ill more easily. It doesn't require strange diets to eat properly, but it does require that one eats nourishing food regularly. So as you can see, these are just simple tools that really anybody can apply to themselves in life. But if we actually all apply these, then as a group, we're continuing to push humanity forward in a very strong way altogether. Another example, obviously principles like these have been around for a long time, like each of us knows, and we're doing what we can to bring these values more and more into society. But, Theodore Roosevelt, who said, take care of your body, it's the only place you have to live. Or, even Buddha, to keep the body in good health is a duty. Otherwise, we shall not be able to keep our mind strong and clear. So these principles have obviously been aligned throughout history with many other, leaders and people who understood that like the foundation of all of our work that we're doing as women is in taking care of ourselves, right? So I just wanted to share that, excerpt, that precept specifically with you, as well as one other, which is flourish and prosper, which is very much what each and every one of us is doing, kind of overcoming despite any barriers, despite any challenges in life. We're continuing to move forward on our mission of raising values in society and, really, creating a positive environment. And that's being created by the incredible, people here, us all together. So I'm going to read one little excerpt of that as well. Here it is. So this may resonate with some of you. Sometimes others seek to crush one down, to make nothing out of one's hopes and dreams, one's future and oneself. By ridicule and many other means, another who is evil intentioned toward one can try to bring about one's decline. For whatever reason, efforts to improve oneself, to become happier in life, can become the subject of attacks. It is sometimes necessary to handle such directly, but there is a long-range handling that seldom fails, right? And then, just to skip ahead a little bit, the real handling of such a situation and such people, the real way to defeat them is to flourish and prosper. Oh yes, it is true that some people, seeing one improve his lot, can become frantic and attack all the harder. Thing to do to handle them if one must, but don't give up, is flourishing and prospering. For that is what such people want you to do. If you flourish and prosper more and more, such people go into apathy about it. They can give it up completely. If one's aims in life are worthwhile, if one carries them out with some attention to the precepts in this book, if one flourishes and prospers, one certainly will wind up the victor, and hopefully without harming a single hair on their head. And that is my wish for you: flourish and prosper. So I wanted to just share kind of those two parts of it, because we have such an incredible group of women here, and the work that we're all doing is so unique and so important, but it really does all tie in with, keeping ourselves very grounded in morals and values and what we're doing, and that self-care, and then being able to share that with other people as we continue our mission. So I don't want to take up too much more time, just because I know that we're trying to move along with the speakers. But I would love to connect and work with each and every one of you. I do a lot of humanitarian work and aligned with Mr. Hubbard's humanitarian mission and working with human rights and a lot of education in those areas. So I think I'm just going to end off there for now, but I really appreciate the time, and especially those of you here in the United States, but really everywhere, feel free to reach out to me, and I'll put my contact information as well. And I'll also put a link for any of you who would like to accept the gift and check out the free course that I put together specifically for these women today.
Okay, thank you so much, Gianna, for your contribution while traveling. And please do put your contacts in the chat. That would be amazing. And indeed, self-care is very important for all women leaders to inspire and network together. And I'm looking forward to joining that course, because you seem super excited. So I'm very curious. You made me very curious. Thank you so much for your spontaneous contribution. And I wish you a great leaders meeting as well in a little bit. So thank you. You were our last speaker for this evening. Before we're going to the closing remarks, I would like to invite you all to make a group picture. So if possible, I would like to invite you to open your cameras just for a bit, so we can make a nice picture. So if you're slightly able to open your cameras, please do. And then I think maybe our colleague of the technique will take the lead to guide us through the picture.
So I'm screenshotting as much as I can. I haven't got all the cameras on yet. I'll take another one. Smile, everybody. 1, 2, 3. So I've got more than 50%. That's better than what I've had before. And I'll take another one. Anyone else still want to turn your camera on? Now's your chance.
Last chance. Cheese.
And I'll take one more. I've got just one screen and I've got 26 boxes and a few black spots. So one more shot, new one. Okay, 25, somebody's dropped out. Here we go.
Please watch the gap.
Good. Please watch the gap. Thank you very much. I've done that. Back to speaker view. Back to
Sorry.
Yeah,
that was you, Diana. Great.
Yes.
Thank you so much, everyone, for your
Start to speak,
cooperation.
start to speak.
So if you want to be anonymous again, please feel free, but we're very happy to see your beautiful faces. Thank you so much. It's always very valuable to also have pictures of our event so we can share and promote more actively as well. So then we're coming to a close of this evening, and I would like to invite my dearest colleague, Mrs. Renate Amesbauer from Women's Federation for World Peace Austria, and also our secretary of our UN Vienna team, to share some closing remarks. Thank you, Renate, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you very much, my dear colleague Kyungin. We have been spending many nice events together. Thank you very much for your beautiful work as an MC. Yes, I'm Renate Amesbauer. I'm the chapter president of Austria, and I'm very happy to be with you as always, and to enjoy the fruits of a great work of our colleague Merle Soquila, putting all of you together and listening to you. Actually, I think all of us, we would have liked to listen to each one of you for 1 hour or more. It's the contents of a conference, of a one-day conference that we listened to today. I was very inspired to be led to the far-away island of New Zealand, which I didn't know much about. So it was very inspiring, and the way you encourage women and integrate everyone living on this one island. It's also a picture for the world, because we need to integrate, to get to know each other, embrace each other. Also Austria, we are in Northern Ireland, but people of more than 170 different nations are living in Austria. So we are also challenged to embrace and accept and learn the common goals and common values. Also, I'm so inspired about all these young ladies. They look very young. They talk about 10 years, 15 years of experience, but they all look like 20 years themselves. So they started in the kindergarten age to be so active. It was so inspiring to listen to the Chocolate Princess and to the other ladies representing Professor Remy. Also to pull together the diaspora and helping your own countries or the countries of your parents or grandparents to somehow bring the challenges or chances that we have living in a somehow developed country back to the places where the development is still needed. It inspired me so much, and we talked about health, as staying healthy is a precondition that we can continue our work. I think Professor Su Lin from Vienna, we talk almost once a week about the mental health and the problem of sports people who are concentrated so much on just one of their abilities and not realizing we are, as persons, we have many talents, various talents. Our personality has more than one aspect. And again, staying healthy. Our last speaker, Mary, stay healthy, then you can do your work. And encouraging each other as women, not only because it's our right, but because it's a necessity that we as women, as mothers, daughters, sisters, embrace each other. And I think we can do it so well. And we should shake hands on the screen, shake hands and be this very strong network and continue. And all the husbands and sons and brothers will join us happily, as they most probably do already, because otherwise none of us could do the work that we are doing. I really want to say thank you very, very much. And please look at each other's contacts. We really want to carry on the connections, reach out to each other. And I can say with Lilly, our technician, she's bravery bravorously managing these evenings. And I think within 48 hours, we have a YouTube video, which we can also share again. So you can look at the video again, and please reach out for more cooperation, maybe on some certain topics. I definitely will use the recording to reach out to those who haven't been here. And I think also can make use of this very informative evening. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. And thanks to the technique that makes it possible, we can all sit here together, like on a coffee table or tea table or hot chocolate table. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, dear Renate, for your closing remarks and your encouragement. And then I would like to give the final word to our initiator of this great project meet and greet with our 8th episode, Mrs. Merle Sokila Blaschke. Please, Merle, thank you so much for your initiative, and we would like to hear from you to round off.
Thank you. Thank you, Kyung-in. Yeah, I just want to say a brief final words. And thank you, everybody, for taking part in today's online gathering, and to all the speakers. Thank you so much for your valuable contributions. In today's world, there are many tensions, arguments, and even wars. So whenever someone makes a contribution for peace and development, better understanding between people, it is always precious and valuable. As you can see, we have some serious challenges ahead of us, but I know that our usual team spirit will help us rise to the occasion. Thank you very much, and keep it up. See you again next time.
Thank you so much, Merle. Thank you so much for encouraging words and for the initiative and all your hard work behind the scenes, connecting everyone. So thank you so much. And as we say goodbye to each other for this evening, we will hear some music of our dear colleague Shirley Dimano. She's a musician based here in Europe. So let's hear her music as we say our goodbyes, and please do check the app, the chat to connect with others. And if you somehow cannot find any contacts, don't worry, you can always email us so we can connect you with one of the speakers. Thank you all so much for taking your time. And sorry, we're a bit late today, but normally we do keep the time very well. And yes, let's keep connecting and move forward together. Thank you so much and have a beautiful evening. See you next time.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue, clouds of white, much more than I'll never know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a nice evening, everyone. See you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Good night.
Good night. Thank you so much.
Bye. Thank you very much. It was a
Bye,
wonderful.
Merle.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Salam, Eileen.
Bye.
Lovely.
Stay healthy.
Thank you so much.
Keep healthy.
And team and
Bye-bye. Thank
Bye
you very much.
bye.
Stay healthy. Bye-bye.
that's right.
Watching again.
Thank you.